क्या हुआ, स्लाइड मिल नहीं रही क्या?
मिल गई है, लगा रहे हैं सर, 2 मिनट का टाइम दो।
जब तक नहीं मिल रही तब तक वही लगा दो। कल WH
पुनीत जी, हेलो पुनीत।
यार आप 2 दिन बाद चढ़ जाओगे तो ऐसे पीछे कौन देगा तुम्हारा गेट के लिए मत पूछ बात नहीं को बोला है वो नहीं देगा तो मालिक से कहो मालिक कैसे सब कुछ इसके अंदर के बाद ही उसकी बात है तो नहीं क्या फायदा है देखो प्लान तो बात है ना और कह रहा है देखो कह रहा है तब हम कह रहा है तो दिन पहले देने की बात करते मत करो क्योंकि सारे तो कुछ मान लो
म्यूट कर लो साउंड साउंड आपका म्यूट नहीं सेकंड
पुनीत जी अभी देर
सेकंड से साउंड म्यूट कर लो आप।
नहीं आप ही को बात करने के लिए बोल रहा था, ठीक है ना अब?
हाँ ठीक है, साउंड बैक आप म्यूट कर लो उधर से आपकी।
ओके।
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Chalu.
10 बजे स्टार्ट होगा सर, 10 बजे स्टार्ट कर देंगे.
ठीक है, अभी टाइम है.
हाँ जी सर.
Good morning, Uncle. This is Shubham.
Hi, Shikram. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Well, thank you. What time
Uncle,
is it now?
it's 8:26 p.m. for me right now.
Oh, so that's decent.
It's decent right now. Yeah. So yesterday I was sleeping, when I went to bed, I was thinking, you're a man with so much of knowledge with respect to so many things that you talk about. I'm just impressed, and I wanted to let you know. I actually was trying to send you an email, but I'm like, this is a good time to tell you. Just very impressed.
No, but you're right. It's a lifetime's journey.
And how do you do that? Let me ask you this too, just because it's a lot of reading, it's just a lot of expertise to my understanding.
You see, mind should be kept open and active. And because in our very nature of the IAS jobs, you see, we could move from one area to the other.
Right.
Overnight.
Yeah.
So generally you do pick up some things, but then yes, you respect learning, you respect those who indulge in it, and you tend to pick up things, but and the interest. But the other side is that you see, at this age now, one has begun to forget also. But hopping, you see, I was hopping between 2 seminars yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So we're just trying to finish my breakfast. I'll join you in 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, no problem. No problem. Hello, Dr. Ganpati. You're on mute.
Okay. Got it? Yeah,
Yes,
good morning.
we can hear you now.
Yeah,
How are
very
you doing?
Yeah, doing very good. How are you, sir?
Great, thank you.
So
Just waiting for the
yeah.
just waiting for the other team members to join.
Welcome. Yeah, good. Skin ones.
Hi, Shubham. Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, Shurya. हाँ चल रहा है.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Rajasthan, sir. Good morning, Shubham. Good evening
morning.
to you.
Yeah. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Rajdan Sahab, your that is mute.
Yeah, now it's open.
Now it's
I was trying to finish breakfast.
yeah.
Having idlis today in the morning.
Yeah.
So, who's joining us today?
Secretary, Urban Development,
He's joining, and we'll see.
And Mr. Sawhney or no?
I think
Not sure.
not sure about him.
How many awards are we giving?
Only 4, sir. 3 in waste to wealth, and 1 in hydrogen. And they are also making presentation in last session
Okay.
of their technology and others.
Good.
So this time there will be write-up also, as is stated last time.
Good.
So hopefully things will be in shape. And
No, yesterday was a very, very rich event.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
I
From
think
your
you're
side, it's okay.
okay.
थोड़ा नीचे है सर, थोड़ा ऊपर, या बस।
नहीं, अभी तो मैं बैठने लगा।
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। Aishwarya, we will start in next 5 minutes.
Sure, sir. Sure.
We are expecting Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra, Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Government of India, to join.
Okay, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Puneet? Puneet,
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
kindly confirm from their office if there is any problem of joining or so, link.
Secretary, Minister of Housing, Mr. Durga Shankar Prasad will not join.
He has not joined or not joining?
Not join the event. There's some engagement, some other engagement.
Okay, no problem. Another secretary?
Yeah, I will just check.
Hello, Jim.
Hello there. How are you?
Yeah, just fine. Thank you. Hello. That's fine. Thank you.
Razdan sir, please settle your camera.
Okay, what's
Yeah.
wrong, sir?
Sir, you are looking just opposite, like ulta ekdam.
So the frame is upside down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that okay now? For me, this is ulta.
No, it's sorry, upside down.
It's
Now
not
I can-
seen. You are not seen, sir.
Is that okay?
No, sir.
And I move to the other device. It was okay a short while back. What's gone wrong?
You can just again focus that. That's okay.
Is that okay now? Hello?
Sir, show yourself, please.
Is that
No,
all right?
sir.
So you're not being seen.
Okay. Very strange.
Yes,
Now
sir.
we
You're
can.
visible now. Yes.
This is perfect. Yes, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Some signal problem.
सर सेक्रेटरी का भी मैसेज आ गया कि he is not coming because he has to go somewhere urgent.
Okay. Never mind.
Sir, your video is not seen.
Really? It's going on and off. Yeah, video is stopped.
It's okay. Oh, again. Yeah, it's okay. So we can start, sir.
Absolutely.
Aishwarya,
Yes, sir.
please take care.
All right. Okay, so let us begin. Good morning, respected dignitaries, delegates, officials, participants, speakers, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all on Day 2 of the World Hydrogen Energy Summit and Expo and World Waste to Wealth Summit and Expo 2021. On day 1, as we saw yesterday, there was this huge gathering of global government, industry, and research all in one place on this virtual platform. And we witnessed some really thought-provoking plenary session, with each plenary session helping the intensive analysis and planning and networking and consolidation and debate on both the important topics, that is waste to wealth movement, and also discussion on harnessing the hydrogen's potential. And this morning, we're going to begin by having a special session and Global Award 2021 ceremony. I'd request Dr. Anil Garg, President World Waste to Wealth Summit 2021 and World Hydrogen Summit and Expo 2021 to begin the special session with a welcome address. Over to you, Dr. Garg.
Thank you, Aishwarya. This is second day of the two conferences, one on hydrogen, especially on green hydrogen, and theme is green hydrogen, cleaner and zero emission fuel for a sustainable green economy, as well as the second summit, Waste to Wealth, that will be there from yesterday and it will continue. And theme is innovation and technology for a smart waste solution. We welcome all the dignitaries, Mr. Anil Rajdan, Sheffield, who has sent a video message, and our two secretaries could not able to join. One was confirmed, and just now it is said that he has to go somewhere urgent, and that's why he will not able to join. This session comprised of special keynote address by Mr. Sheffield and global awards, 3 in the field of waste to wealth and 1 in hydrogen sector. And hopefully this will set a trend in times to come. So I welcome all the delegates, speakers, award winners, and Mr. Anil Rajdan, under whose guidance we could able to start this World Hydrogen Summit and World Waste to Wealth Summit with his visionary idea. Thank you. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garg. And now I welcome and I request our pole star, really, our guiding star, our guiding light, Anil Rajdan sir, former Secretary Power, Government of India, and the Chairman, Energy and Environment Foundation, for the address.
Thank you, Aishwarya. A very good morning to you, Dr. Garg, and all distinguished award winners and participants. It's been a very unusual conference, a combination of two conferences. And I would say that the one on hydrogen has really been revolutionary. I was amazed at the pace at which the global scientific and technological community has taken to hydrogen, and not only hydrogen, but green hydrogen. It's a huge challenge which civilization had to take up because the warning signals of climate change were far too clear and loud for any sensible person to ignore. As I mentioned yesterday, it is basically a fight with nature. We have challenged nature. We have, rather than try to live with it, as an ecosystem, we have tried to exploit it as a resource. And nature does fight back. It does react. It acts slowly, but surely. It's a world that we are living in, which comprises very developed countries, underdeveloped countries, and developing countries. If we have to move together as a planet, we must move as one. I had cited the example yesterday of a situation where we are probably all riding together in the same aircraft, which is set to crash. It will not distinguish between the category of passengers from the first class down to economy. It's a call that the nations took at Glasgow. Again, a wake-up call was given in Paris. And thereafter, we've been meeting globally to try and find solutions. The awareness is there, the finger pointing is there, but any technological shift in the compressed time frame will need a change of mindset, a mindset of sharing this planet as one. It is not a mindset of making money in the crisis, which people from the developing world have seen at times. Some families got very rich in times of famine, but the others perished. That is not the kind of philosophy that is going to save this planet. We've got to rise as one, and there has to be a definitive change from the fossil fuel burning to cleaner fuels. Nature gave us a very useful resource in fossil fuels, like some foods. They're extremely rich and nutritious. But there's a limit to which you should consume or can consume. It can lead to severe problems to the system. And that precisely has happened. If we had used fossil fuels moderately, judiciously, we would not have reached this situation. I come from a civilization which started with worshipping the elements of nature. And I think we're back to those elements. We need the sun, we need the wind, and we need water. And the planet Earth. All these have to be preserved. They've been handed down as a legacy by our ancestors. It's a legacy which we have to preserve, but we did not preserve, we plundered it. It's like a family breaking up and ruining the spoils of the family, the wealth of the family. Anyway, the wake-up call has been given. Luckily, technologists and scientists are rising fast and steadily to the occasion. The progress that I think that has been made in the last 10 years, I would say, is indeed remarkable. Our first reaction, I remember when I was Secretary, Power in the Government of India and earlier in the Petroleum Ministry, was that push all your emissions under the earth. Carbon capture and storage. That's somehow to get over your Kyoto obligations. But that will not work and can't work for long. You can't sweep your house dust and muck under the carpet. It will come out someday. We are luckily now working towards an era which signifies the second part of the conference, that there is nothing as waste. It's our lack of scientific knowledge or appreciation of a commodity which declares it as waste. And if we have to convert waste to wealth, we're only doing what nature's organisms have been doing from time immemorial. What organic matter we throw as waste is utilized beautifully by the plant kingdom and provides food for us, fertility to the soil. The same is true of some of the other products. But it is organic matter. When we are handling inorganic matter and man-made matter, we created it. It was not existing in that shape on earth. It was not disturbing anything. We've got to find a way out to make the economy truly circular. And the first appreciation of this issue I learned when I was Joint Secretary in the Department of Atomic Energy in India. And while discussing cold fusion with one of the most eminent scientists in the country, he was discussing with me nuclear waste. And I still remember his words: nothing is waste. It's only the frontier of our knowledge that we declare it waste. If we created it, surely we should know how to reconvert it to be put back in circulation. It's a philosophy that this organization has adopted to honor those who create waste to wealth again. They were wealth at one stage. You are only resurrecting it. You are rediscovering the molecules. You're rearranging them once again. Now that is, I think, the idea of the awards. Urban civilization with a huge disproportionate aggregation of populations accumulates this waste at a phenomenal rate. And the way we live in some of these mega cities, we move away from nature, away from responsibility. We just use the garbage cycle to buy, use, and throw. That does not happen with those who live among nature and with nature. The animal kingdom does not create waste. It's mankind who creates waste. Animals create some kind of a waste only when they die. And that too is a matter which decomposes and comes back, even if without human intervention, back into the soil and back as a resource. This effort of Dr. Garg and our organization is to bring about that realization, that yes, there's value to everything. And when you are particularly dealing with large urban populations, you're talking of electronic waste. We're going to go huge way into solar. What to do with the panels? EVs, large number of batteries. What are you going to do with those batteries? So I would say the responsibility should come that when you clear any device for marketing, you should also probably try and insist and find out its method of safe utilization, and as a very, very last case, as a disposal, as you do in nuclear waste. It has to be carefully stored, kept away from causing damage. I think it is the responsibility of the user to ensure that whatever he is using does not harm himself, his neighbors, or future civilization and future generations. That's an obligation that I think scientists, lawmakers, and the administrators of this modern civilization have to learn. We have to learn to live together and not live just for today, but for civilization and mankind to survive in harmony with his co-brethren. I congratulate the award winners for their exemplary efforts, dedication to their calling, and the tremendous work that they have done. What we have done is merely put a small recognition to their efforts in the hope that others will follow, take their example, and they can hand the torch also to others. Their work does not finish with this award. We only hope that they will move to greater awards and greater recognition. My good wishes and congratulations to all of them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Razdan sir, for those wonderful insights. And now I request Dr. John Sheffield, Professor of Engineering Technology, Purdue University, USA, to set the underlying tone and summarize the core message of the World Hydrogen Summit and Expo and the World Waste to Wealth Summit and Expo 2021 with his address.
Hello, my name is John Sheffield, and the title of this presentation is Future-Back Thinking for Breakthrough Growth in Green Hydrogen Heavy-Duty Transport. Supporting me on this presentation is my graduate student, Stuart Bowserman, from Purdue University, West Lafayette, Indiana, United States. I'm a professor at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. I also serve as the president of the International Association for Hydrogen Energy, and I'm a senior associate editor of the International Journal of Hydrogen Energy. I'm excited to share with you some of my personal insights on future-back thinking for breakthrough growth in green hydrogen heavy-duty transport. My career in hydrogen energy began in 1976 when working for Pratt & Whitney Aircraft in West Palm Beach, Florida. Specifically, we were developing technologies for high power, continuous wave, hydrogen fluoride, and deuterium fluoride chemical lasers. Later in my academic career started at the University of Miami, then California Institute of Technology in Pasadena, California, and later at Missouri University of Science and Technology in Rolla, Missouri. And now I'm at Purdue University. As an outline, I will start out with talking about some of the metrics for the International Journal of Hydrogen Energy, followed up with a discussion of what is future-back thinking and how that plays into the roles towards zero emission and the potential for green hydrogen heavy-duty transport. The International Journal of Hydrogen Energy is published by Elsevier. It is our official journal of the International Association for Hydrogen Energy and was established in 1976. I joined 2 years later as the first assistant editor. 4 years later, it became monthly, bi-weekly in 2008, weekly in 2015. And as of November 11th, 2021, we have published more than 38,963 pages and 72 issues of volume 46 in 2021. The journal metrics provide valuable insights into 3 aspects of the journal: impact, speed, and reach. These metrics help authors select the best journal for the publication of their research findings. We'll start out with the impact factor. As you can see here, in the last 5 years, we've had improvements over that time, reaching a value of 5.816 in the year 2020. Another metric is the speed, or the review speed. Shown here is an indication of the review speed at the journal level. One measure of time is the time between the date of submission and the date of final decision. A second, shown in green, is the time period between the date of submission and the first decision. As you can see here, we've been improving or decreasing those time intervals and work hard to continue to improve. Another metric is reach. One way is to define the reach is the outlook, the downloads. So the downloads of the journal articles, an indication of worldwide usage for this journal at the country or region level over the last 5 years. Each dot represents a number, and as you can see, the big blue dot over China indicates more than 6 million downloads during the last 5 years. The takeaway from this map is that we have a global reach in terms of downloads, those people reading the papers. Another way of defining the reach is from the source, the corresponding authors. The size of the balls here indicating the number of corresponding authors over the last 5 years. Again, over China, you see a large green dot indicating more than 5,000 corresponding authors over the last 5 years from the country of China. Again, the takeaway, the reach is global. With that background in terms of the metrics of the journal, let's think about how we can use this mindset of future-back thinking. So what is future-back thinking? Well, future-back thinking is an innovative approach to strategy development that empowers leaders to envision the breakthrough opportunities that drive long-term achievements, then implement the initiatives that are needed to meet those challenges. Future-back thinking is sometimes called backcasting, as a planning method that starts by defining the desirable future, then works backwards to identify policies and programs that will connect that future to the present. If we want to achieve a certain goal, what actions must be taken to get there? So why use future-back thinking? Well, many organizations today, however, employ a present-forward thinking, which gives false hope to the thinking that existing businesses can extend out in time indefinitely by simply making incremental improvements. What is the mindset imperative? The world has changed and our thinking must also change. So we must change the dial from present forward to future back. Future back, the leadership focuses on long-term exploration and vision and discovery. The processes are organic, creative, and iteratively. And the decision-making is learning milestones on assumption-driven. Future back thinking for green hydrogen. To achieve net zero emissions by 2050, in the race to zero, businesses and government leaders must truly work together using future back thinking as a dual transformation approach of extending the lifespan of the current core business while identifying and seizing the new growth opportunities of tomorrow. So we have two models: the established business model that strengthens and extends today's business, and the new business model that creates tomorrow's business. It's an and, not an or. So imagine 2050. Green hydrogen has transformed the way we work, and climate change has affected the way we live. We should consider using future back thinking for transformative ambitions for green hydrogen by making sustainable energy irresistible for customers while achieving system changes with partnerships that focus on meaningful action at scale by using fuel cell and hydrogen technologies to create a step change within the renewable energy sector, hence helping you redefine what value creation means for your organization. If necessary, you may need to reinvent your core business. Next in our outline here, we see the roadmap towards zero emission. Let's see what we have to learn here. Well, objectives of the energy policy is defined in this roadmap towards energy emissions, the complementary role of battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. And we see that hydrogen from renewable and low carbon sources will be complementary to the electricity in reaching all objectives of energy policies in the long term. From the security of supply, hydrogen can store and transport energy at scale. Affordability, hydrogen can be abundant and increasingly competitive. And we have other attributes about sustainability. If we look at the complementary roles of battery electric and fuel cell electric vehicle and look at the relevance in the segments. And so one segment of the transportation sector is the light duty, that is passenger vehicles and light duty commercial vehicles. In this case, the battery electric has some advantages. They're vital in enabling the fast decarbonization of the transport and will become mainstream in many use cases. And in the mid-duty, we have a toss-up between the battery electric and fuel cell electric vehicle powertrains. However, on the heavy-duty vehicles, we'll see some advantages, and that's what the focus here with the green energy. So let's take a deep dive now into that aspect. The exact role will depend on the regional situation. So shown here, we're taking 3 regions, and we'll start out with some focus on Europe. Europe is expected to have a highly seasonal electricity generation that will need to be buffered over long periods of time. And if we look at that, we have the stable interconnected grid with renewable and nuclear, local predominant renewable projects and imports. If we look at other regions, we have other characteristics. So now let's continue and think about, we might say, what are the 12 facts about the complementary role of the battery electric and fuel cell electric vehicles? The goals were to be greener, faster, and cheaper. So out of this 12, let's just take a couple of these. And so we might say the comparable system efficiencies. In a systemic view, the battery electric vehicle and the fuel cell electric vehicles have comparable sun or wind to wheel efficiencies, much the same that we did with the fossil fuel internal combustion engines, where we had the oil well to the wheel efficiencies. Under the faster mode, we might want some interdependence from the electric grid. What's the question there? Is one pathway enough? Is it faster for decarbonization? So we have questions there. And under cheaper, is are the infrastructures complementing each other? What are some of the risks? What is the cheaper options? So look, from a systemic view, the battery electric vehicles and the fuel cell electric vehicles have comparable sun to wheel efficiencies. We'll look at this from a case study in Germany. So we'll start with the first column. That is the scenario where the battery electric vehicle is charged using a local PV panel. And we look at the sun to wheel and the well to wheel analogy. The second column is a fuel cell electric vehicle powered with imported renewable hydrogen from PVs in sunny regions, maybe, for example, in the Middle East, and that is imported so that those can be used in Germany. The bottom line is the passenger car kilometers per year from 1 kilowatt of renewable energy source. For the local charging with battery electric, we get about 6,100 kilometers per year. If we import renewable energy in the form of green hydrogen, we get a slightly smaller amount, 5,900. But it does allow us to look at a case study in our region, but the energy source global. Now let's look at another. A third column is the battery electric vehicle charged using a local PV panel. The peak supplies renewable hydrogen for the fuel cell electric fueling. And in this case, we get some characteristics that are interesting to talk about. We have easy storage and long distance shipments of hydrogen from optimal regions. We have renewable energy. It can be used effectively. We increase the total amount of energy available from the same renewable energy installation. We have local hydrogen generation not subject to the demand fluctuation or grid constraints, thus avoiding curtailment. Renewable curtailment at peak times to prevent grid overloading can be offset by producing hydrogen instead. This is much the concept of the power to gas, where maybe we have excess renewable electricity being used to generate hydrogen in some way utilizing, whether it's injection into natural pipelines or other applications. So in this case, we see a systematic view and the complementary roles of battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles in the race to zero emissions. Hydrogen will be available to store local renewable energy across seasons and to import renewable energy from optimal production locations. So we take a map here and we see different shadings. For example, the light blue in areas like in Russia where we have net exporter of low carbon hydrogen. In the black in the North Africa and Portugal and Spain and Iceland and Australia, South Africa, in the country of Chile and South America, we have net export of renewable hydrogen, green hydrogen, from the combination of solar and wind. The dark blue is a net importer in parts of Europe. And in North America and in the United States and Canada, we have net export of both low carbon hydrogen and renewable hydrogen. So now we begin to see that region play. Now let's go to one region in Europe and look at or answer the question, is one pathway sufficient? And it's not. We see that we need one pathway is not enough. So if we look at the grid electricity by source in top 10 European countries in the year 2020, and we start out with Sweden at the top that has the highest renewable, followed by nuclear and a small amount of other and essentially no coal or very little natural gas. In France, we have a larger component being nuclear and a smaller amount of renewable and some natural gas and other fuels and very little coal. In Spain, we see relatively to the average of Europe renewable and some nuclear, but quite a bit of natural gas, and coal. In Belgium, we have a more balanced between nuclear, renewable, and natural gas. In UK, we have a growing amount of renewable, some nuclear, and still natural gas. In Germany, we have a tad bit more renewable and smaller amount of nuclear and also a smaller amount of gas, but still a residual legacy of coal. And if we go all the way down to Poland, we see a country where it has a predominant dependence on coal and natural gas and others, and a pretty small percentage in renewables. So in one region, clearly indicates one path is not enough. Now let's go to the total cost of ownership, break even between the fuel cell electric and the battery electric. That is to say, when does a fuel cell electric vehicle total cost of ownership break even with the battery electric? And some of the key drivers for the cost development are the fuel cell systems, the fuel cost itself, that is the hydrogen, the battery systems, the grid and charger infrastructures, and other components such as the hydrogen tank and the power electronics, the converters. The earliest is around the year 2028, and that is the European segment with taxis. Followed that by around 2030 in the United States, with the segment being the SUVs for private use. And in cars and private use in Japan around 2035, 2036 timeframe. Now, the average mileage on the taxis was 56,000 kilometers per year. And this total cost of ownership includes the stack replacement assumptions for those fuel cell electric taxi vehicles. In Japan, the annual mileage of the private vehicle is 8,000 kilometers and 17,000 in the United States. Now, let's turn our attention to the prime component of this paper, and that is future-backed thinking for breakthrough growth in green hydrogen in heavy-duty transport. Here we see the question in terms of the total cost of ownership of on-demand heavy-duty trucks. And the vertical axis, US dollars per kilometer. On the x-axis is the time, and this is from the Hydrogen Insight report, the revised report that came out in July 2021 from the Hydrogen Council, prepared by McKinsey & Company. In this, we expect the on-demand heavy-duty truck that is powertrained with a hydrogen fuel cell electric powertrain to become the cheapest option in terms of total cost of ownership by 2030. It should achieve break even with the battery electric vehicles, the BEVs, by around 2025, with the internal combustion engines for these heavy-duty trucks by 2028. And as a footnote, these on-demand are use cases of flexible, demanding long-haul transport under ideal efficiency conditions. Next, let's look at the total cost of ownership of a off-road vehicle, heavy-duty truck, that is a 300-ton open pit mining haul truck. In this case, the use is open pit dump truck used in the mining operations. And on the vertical axis, again, we have the US dollars per hour, in this case, of the time interval, and we're comparing the diesel internal combustion engine in gray, the hydrogen internal combustion engine in orange, and the hydrogen fuel cell, that is the fuel cell electric vehicle, in blue. We expect that both the hydrogen internal combustion engine, the ICE vehicles, and the hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles should break even with conventional diesel trucks before the year 2028. For the hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle trucks, around 20% of the total cost of ownership change results from the declining fuel cell powertrain cost, and another 60% because of the lower hydrogen production cost. So those are our future back thinking. Now, let's turn our attention to another heavy-duty transport, and that is aviation. And the heavy-duty transport in these cases are the larger planes that are either flown in short distances or the larger planes that are flown on long distances. It's not the passenger planes that fly quite short distances with, say, a passenger load of 20 or 30 passengers. So in this case, we're looking at the total cost of ownership short-range flights. That is, the case is a flight of 2,000 kilometers with a passenger load of 165 passengers. In this case, hydrogen is more competitive and decarbonizing alternative to the short-range flights than synfuel, as it outperforms synfuel in both cost and climate impact. Switching from kerosene to hydrogen implies a cost of about $100 per ton of CO2 emissions equivalent. If this additional cost were allocated entirely to the end consumer, it would result in the price of a ticket increase of about 30 to 35% in the year 2030. In the European domain, on a flight within Europe, that might be around $25. Now, let's look at another challenging and maybe surprising results, and that is heavy-duty transport in aviation, but for long-range flights. And as we see here, those total cost of ownership for the long-range flight is in the cost and average seat kilometer. That is the US dollars per kilometer seat. And the case is for 10,000 kilometers in flight with a passenger load of 325 passengers. Now this is a surprise for some. For the long segment flight segment, synfuel is the most cost competitive, viable decarbonization option, as the required tank size would rule out hydrogen for distances of more than the 10,000 kilometers. While synfuel in the near future is still expensive, the cost of synfuel should drop significantly by over 50% from 2020 to 2040. Driven by the decreased prices of both hydrogen and carbon dioxide. And so the kerosene is one of the challenges of rising costs of the CO2. The hydrogen direct propulsion, the synfuels with direct air capture, and with industry CO2. So the opportunities here are constrained by the envelope of the economics of an airplane designed for a certain passenger load over a certain distance. So without going through a totally redesigned vehicle for these heavy-duty transport, long-distance, large systems, we find that the synfuel does, in fact, give us those achieved results. So I hope that you've got a understanding in what are some of the trends that we are seeing and how this future-back thinking for these breakthrough growths in the green hydrogen for a particular sector of heavy-duty transport. Now, I ask you to mark your calendars because the 23rd World Hydrogen Energy Conference on-site and online is scheduled for June 26th through the 30th, 2022 in Istanbul, Turkey. And as shown in the image inside the drop of water here is the bridge that spans the continents. That is, on one side of the Bosphorus is Europe. On the other side of the Bosphorus is Asia. So this conference, the 23rd World Hydrogen Energy Conference, is bridging the continents by hydrogen. To give you a sneak preview of the ever-expanding and beautiful skyline of Istanbul, and in the foreground we see the Istanbul Conference Center, where is going to be the hosting of this conference. And this is our International Association for Hydrogen Energy World Hydrogen Energy Conference. Again, I thank you for this opportunity to share some of my insights. And as this World Hydrogen Energy Summit 2021 wraps up, I hope that, that you've learned a lot and you have some tasks to do in the future. So best wishes on those. And I thank you for this opportunity to share with you. And again, this water drop in the Bosphorus is created.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very thorough and very extensive presentation on hydrogen and especially green hydrogen. And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the very exciting part of this session, that is the award distribution ceremony. It's said that brains like hearts go where they are appreciated. So it is important to appreciate outstanding work and also outstanding people. And of course, recognition is not a scarce resource. You can use it up or you cannot use it up or run out of it. Thus, Energy and Environment Foundation announces the Global Waste Management Awards 2021 and the Global Hydrogen Awards 2021. I would request Mr. Anil Razvan, Chairman EEF, to virtually confer these awards. Let me first announce the winner of the Global Waste Best Technology of the Year 2021. And the award is being bestowed upon Reliance Industries on Reliance Catalytic Hydrothermal Liquefaction, that is RCAT-HTL, platform technology for converting MSW to biocrude. So let me give a little bit account of what really this technology is. So RCAT-HTL, a catalytic thermochemical process developed by Reliance Industries Limited, converts biomass, bio-waste, plastic waste, and any organic waste into energy-rich drop-in green liquid fuel. This environmentally sustainable process overcomes the limitations of the existing technologies and offers a green solution to the global problem of waste disposal. RIL's RCAT-HTL is feed flexible, that means it can handle both dry as well as wet bio-waste, organic waste, mixed waste via standalone treatment or co-processing. So I'd request Dr. Rajaraman Ghatke, Research Specialist, Reliance R&D Center, to please accept the award, and congratulations to you, Dr. Ghatke.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Ashwarya. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure and honor to receive this award on behalf of Reliance Industries Limited. I would like to thank Waste to Wealth platform and the jury for shortlisting this most promising award for RCAT HTL technology. This technology is basically used to convert any organic biomass into biocrude, drop-in biocrude. And I would like to thank our R&D leadership and Reliance management for setting up this visionary platform way back in 2010 to convert any type of organic biomass into drop-in biocrude. And last but not the least, I would like to thank our RCAT HTL team for making it happen. Thank you everyone. Yes, over to you, Aishwarya.
Right. Congratulations, sir. Rajasthan, sir, would you like to say something about?
Yes, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to congratulate Reliance Industries represented by Dr. Ghatke here. It is indeed a very useful chemical process that you have invented, and I'm sure it will go a long way in tackling a lot of what we think is waste. As I mentioned in my inaugural address, it's our lack of knowledge and thinking. Congratulations to you and your team, and wish you many more awards in the future and more discoveries.
Thank you, Rajan sir. It's really actually these words are definitely motivate us to take up this technology to the commercial stage. And I promise you actually, once we are through with the first setup of commercial scale plant, then definitely we would like to take up this technology across the world. Thank you for the good words.
Godspeed.
Congratulations, sir. And now let me move on to the Global Waste Management Technology Company of the Year 2021. And the award is being bestowed upon BEIL Infrastructure Limited. And this is for the removal of high ammonical nitrogen from the effluents. BEIL implemented an innovative technology named as MAP under the guidelines of IIT. Implementing this innovative physiochemical technology, the unit can treat high ammonical nitrogen containing steam and getting desired results, that is 50 to 75% reduction. I'd request Dr. Maulin Pisha to please come and share your views on this technology. Congratulations, sir. Dr. Shah, please.
Thank you, Aishwarya. We are very glad to receive such a prestigious award from the Energy and Environment Foundation. On behalf of our management, that is BEIL Infrastructure Limited, we have developed a very beautiful technology that is for the removal of ammonical nitrogen from the wastewater treatment. We have developed such a innovative technology that is known as modified Lutzak-Ettinger process, that is in short known as MLE process. With the help of this MLE process, we have created 3 different types of bioaugmentation strategy. First strategy is known as heterotrophic bioaugmentation, second is known as nitrification, and third one is known as denitrification. By the application of all these 3 technology, we are treating such a high amount of ammonical nitrogen from 4 to 500 ppm to at least 40 to 50 ppm. So we are removing such kind of toxic pollutants from the industrial wastewater treatment. So we are very thankful the august body of Energy and Environment Foundation for selecting us for this prestigious award. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations. Rajasthan, sir.
Yes, I think BEIL Infrastructure need to be congratulated along with their team. for this extremely useful invention, I would say, or a chemical. It's the age of chemical technology, I think. If waste has to be tackled, it is chemical technologists who've got to come forward, segregate the so-called harmful ingredients from otherwise useful compounds and put them back in circulation for utilization and use. It is our pleasure and privilege to honor such inventors. Godspeed.
Thank you so much, sir. And one more thing, I just want to share that this is the first technology that is known as MLE established in CDP around the world. So we are the first innovator of this type of technology.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations, sir. And now let me move on to the Global Waste Management Association of the Year 2021. And the award is being bestowed upon National Waste and Recycling Association, United States of America. And throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, the US's waste and recyclables might not have been picked up, and the nation may have witnessed a second public health disaster. However, NWRA and its members undertook a coordinated and multi-pronged advocacy effort ranging from city councils and state capitals to the White House. Without NWRA's advocacy efforts, there likely would have been a failure to prioritize the industry's frontline collection workers, which in turn would cripple the critical function that they perform for every household, business, and hospitals. I'd request Dr. Darrell K. Smith, President and the CEO, to please accept this award. Congratulations, Dr. Smith.
Well, thank you so very much for allowing us to participate in this event. I have with me today Ann Germain, my Chief Operating Officer, Jim Riley, my Chief Counsel, and Kirk Sander, my Chief of Staff and Vice President of Safety. On behalf of my entire staff, our 600 members in the private sector waste and recycling industry in the United States, I'm pleased to accept this award in recognition of the hard work accomplished during the COVID crisis. This is a very high honor and we greatly appreciate it. Because of our fine companies and also thanks to all of the great companies around the world in the waste industry, there was never a waste crisis on top of the pandemic. We thank you again. We're humbled by this award and we look forward to working with you in the future. And by the way, my organization is very supportive of international partnerships and we invite all parties to reach out at any time. So thank you so very much once again, and we really appreciate it.
Right, congratulations once again. Razdan, sir?
My appreciation and congratulations to the National Waste and Recycling Association, USA, all your field workers. I would say all your field workers, because when you're working in a pandemic, it's that person who's working in the field who's most exposed to the hazard. And when he has put himself out or herself out to take away the hazardous waste or any waste and recycle it, I do not think any greater service he could have done or she could have done to humanity. I salute your entire team, the concept, and you've shown the way forward. And I'm sure similar associations around the world would be happy to cooperate with you in a spirit of unity and oneness. My congratulations to all members of your team.
Thank you so very much.
Congratulations once again. And let me now move on to the Global Hydrogen Award 2021 in Technology. And the award is being given away to Enhanced Biofuels and Technologies India Private Limited, 10 Energy. Talking about the achievements, carbon capture and conversion can capture up to 90% of carbon dioxide emissions released by the burning of fossil fuels in electricity generation and industrial processes. Now, this process has 3 stages That is, first is capturing the carbon dioxide, that is separating the carbon dioxide from other gases. And the second is the carbon dioxide passes through the algae photobioreactor to produce biomass by photosynthesis and leaves out the oxygen into the atmosphere. The biomass is then fed through the pyrolysis reactor to convert into carbon powder and hydrogen gas. So this is basically the technology. And I'd request Dr. Ganapati Arumugam, Managing Director, to please receive the award. Very many congratulations, Dr. Ganapati.
Yeah, good morning, green energy participants. We thank you so much for having this opportunity to receive this award, and thanks to Dr. Anil Garg, who is my best friend last so many years, who really understand the concept and further to get into the system. And it's proud to receive this award on behalf of me and my team of scientists and experts who did their tireless efforts since 2003. Just an introduction, we enhanced biofuels and technologies. We have a joint venture partners, 10 Energy BV, it's a Holland-based company where Dr. Raymond is the one, he's a technocrat. And we started working on it, and we are in a position to offer for advancing the COP26 commitment even before 2050 using this technology. As rightly declared by His Excellency, Dr. Abdul Kalam, where he had been to our facility and he witnessed our research and development work, and he himself declared this technology, VBTI is pioneer in this green hydrogen technology. We are using, as Aishwarya rightly said, we are using the algae, which actually algae consumes 2.2 kilos of carbon dioxide and release 1.2 kilos of oxygen to produce 1 metric tons of biomass. So with this system, and at this juncture of launching the green hydrogen mission, where Government of India under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and his vision of net zero CO2 will be contributed by enhanced biofuels and technologies. 10 Energy BV Holland efforts will make it a big success, and we have big pleasure and we are committed to contribute. Thank you so much for the time.
Congratulations, sir. Rastan, sir?
Congratulations to you, Dr. Ganapati Arumugam, and your entire team for this very salutary effort. Algae is a wonder, and we have only begun to scratch at the surface. While chairing an environment committee, I do remember from your part of the country, there were some wonder pills also produced, probably by Parry and Company, from algae. You've done society a great service by showing what algae can do and convert what we consider as waste into useful matter. My congratulations to you. Let this be a trailblazer for many more discoveries and awards that you and your team will achieve. My best wishes and congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much. Before just few message. When we started this algae, we initiated algae for biofuel, supported by Airbus people in 2003. And State Trading Corporation was supportive, and we initiated this work. But later we found in a lot of there's a problem in converting the liquid, the oil into biodiesel, which is the saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. When we segregated, that was a very high value compound, which is omega-3, omega-6, 9, 10. So that has become a very high value product. So today, if you go straight biofuel from algae, which is not viable, when we convert the first product as an edible portion, then you convert the balance into, you can convert it into biohydrogen and biodiesel and bioethanol. The last product is an animal feed. Such a wonderful product which supports the climate change requirement because it consumes huge quantity of CO2 and releases oxygen. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Congratulations to everyone. And as it is said that throw yourself into a work that you believe in with all your heart, live it, live for it, die for it, and you'll find happiness that you had thought could never be yours. So congratulations to all the winners, to all the awardees, and I hope that this award really gives you even greater motivation to achieve further excellence in your selected field. And the good work that you're doing for the humanity as well shall continue as well. Congratulations to all. And with this, we come to the end of this special session and award ceremony 2021. Of course, after a short break, we'll be continuing with the World Hydrogen Summit and Expo and the World Waste to Wealth Summit 2021. There'll be discussions on key issues related to both the important topics, the harnessing of hydrogen and also the waste to wealth movement. I'd request everyone to please attend these key sessions, and the Hall A will be dedicated to the World Hydrogen Summit and the World Waste to Wealth Summit discussions and keynote sessions will be held in Hall number 2. So thank you so much for having joined us in the morning session. We'll continue having very important discussions in the plenary sessions. And I hope and we look forward to your participation in the future conference as well, because these 2 dates every year are fixed for these summits, and every year they'll be held on the same date. So thank you so much for having joined us this morning. Looking forward to your participation in the future summit as well. Thank you so much.
Aishwarya, with your permission, a request to Dr. Anil Garg. We have honored so many eminent people and scientists and technologists over the last few years.
Yes, sir.
And this year, particularly with hydrogen and waste to wealth, my request is that we could have a newsletter encompassing these award winners. I'm sure they're not going to stop here. And maybe we give them a chance to blog whatever new research or new development they have done, so that we create this galaxy of experts and award winners and share their ideas and new inventions with the rest of the community. Request to you, Dr. Garg.
Sir, this will be taken care in times to come. In 2022, it will start. So I will request and congratulate all the award winners to send photograph as well as some write-up about this technology and association for the good work which is being recognized at international level. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Time for a very short break. We'll see you in about half an hour from now, and we'll be discussing important topics related to both hydrogen and waste to wealth summit movement. See you in about half an hour. The plenary sessions are going to start from 12 noon. Thank you so much for having joined us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anil Rajdan Sahab, for gracing this and delivering a special keynote address and giving awards to all the award winners, global award winners.
Thank you, Dr. Ganpati and Dr. Jim Riley. I really thought that we should not end with giving you an award. You're all fertile minds, and you must keep contributing and letting the rest of society know where you're moving and the rest of industry know. Because research is a living organism. It doesn't cease to breathe after one invention or after one award. My congratulations to you. I hope your discoveries will inspire many others to go that way. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much, Radhan sir. Thank you so much.